Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. We have Setons here. Unique Setons game, a 2v2. And in case you're wondering, this is not an Immortals game. This is just an ordinary 2v2 between some very good non-Setons players. Although you can't really say that about Crazed Chariot anymore. But let's just get into the players. This replay was sent to me by TA for Life. The Rise of the Immortals final has happened. I won't say who won. All I can say is that we're going to figure out a way to get it to you soon. So we got Raging Squirrel as Beach for the top team, going with the green Cybern. Nice to see Cybern. We see Tag Rock with Seraphim on the rock spot. Tag Rock on rock. That's good. We see Tag Uber, who is fabricating carbon-based matter at the moment. Now he's building stuff. So he's going as the red Aeon. His teammate is Crazed Chariot. So it's hard to give an advantage to either team, although maybe you would give it to the bottom team. Crazed Chariot has played a lot of Setons gamers recently, and he actually said that he's addicted to this map now. He understands why there are Setons pros, people who only play Setons, but this is obviously not a standard Seton, so we're going to see how these players will get on with it. So just in the first 2 minutes, we just see people building up their stuff, nothing crazy. Uber's been everywhere, and now he's fabricating carbon-based matter again. So you get so much mass in the Setons 2v2 or 1v1 that you just have to make a lot of power, and you can see it's exactly what Chariot is going to do. Change his name to Craze since he got a new computer. That's why he's been able to play Setons. So that's very nice, because he's a very good player. And he's been trying out some really crazy things on Setons, which is nice. Some refreshing strategies like common drops and other ridiculous naval tactics. So we don't really see any pressure from either team. We see a scout from Rock, just making sure no one's coming to take their mass. So in 2v2, you want at least one player to get to the middle because you want the mass. You don't want to leave that to the other team without a challenge. Although the 12k mass there is not nearly as important as it is in a 4v4. And I'm getting private messages, probably from TA. I'm going to ignore it. So see, Craze is now making his way towards the middle, and so is Uber. And but Squirrel is far ahead of them. Raging Squirrel, he's starting land production at his base, and an early Navy factory is planned. So with just one NG, he should get this at around minute 5, which is going to be very powerful early on. A 5-minute naval factory. Chariot is going for a more traditional approach, making 2 land factories. You just want land factories here so you can make your NGs and get your Navy started in that area. And the island, of course, isn't nearly as important. Actually, the island is pretty insignificant when you have this much mass. It's still a good place to start drops and other stuff. See a bomber from Rock. Lots of good targets here. This is a great target. More great targets. So Rock can do a lot of damage with this bomber. He's getting Crazed. That's excellent. 6 kills for Rock's bomber. Does get killed. But very annoying for Uber. Loses 6 NGs there. Bomber not only pays for itself in mass, but also in build time that he's going to lose because he lost those NGs. And now we see Tag Rock assisting Rage Squirrel with a drop. He's going to get a land factory in this area. He's got some NGs. So now the bottom side is going to realize that they're not going to get the middle. Squirrel also with a Jester to prevent any NGs or anything from stealing his mass. See the land factory is being spammed up pretty fast by Rock. And I see a bomber from Crazed, although it's just going to be patrolling close to their own base. I see both players making their way over. Uber is making his way through the water. He's got some scouts to see what's going on. So one thing that can happen in big Setons games with less numbers of people, especially in 1v1, but I guess it's also possible in 2v2, is you can get NG drops on your side of the map, and you can get secret bases going up without you knowing. That can really suck. That's especially bad in 1v1 when there's so much space to cover. So they're right to have all these scouts on the map. We see a big air fight here at minute 7. That looks like the bottom side is going to win with relative ease. We see a Jester coming in from Squirrel, gets an NG kill before it's destroyed. Right before it's destroyed, in fact. And we see the top side completely taking over the middle with mass. Uber putting one foot in front of the other, just trying to make his way over. And Craze says that they need to get overcharge ready, which is pretty much their only chance. Although now they're going to realize that Rage Squirrel is there. Wait, no, that's Rock. So they're going to realize that The ACUs are arriving. And is there point defense? There is not any point defense actually built yet. Now there is going to be one spammed up by Rock. Builds the wall sections first. That's interesting. And now the bottom side realizes that all the mass is gone. Even if they were to beat this, it wouldn't really make any difference. See, Uber looks like he was thinking about capturing the point defense, but he's just going to retreat and overcharge it. Big air forces from both sides, which of course is so important early on. So it looks like top side wins air. Well, no, because that was just a small section of the bottom side air force. Does this? We see jesters coming in from Rage Scroll while they have air control. And those are gonna have to be dealt with quick. They're still alive. See Tag Rock trying to kill off Craze interceptors. He does. Hard to tell who's going to come out of this because the colors confuse me for some reason. Looks like the top side once again wins air. Rock is single-handedly winning air against 2 players. Rage Squirrel has support if it's needed. And they just need to run because Craze Chariot is right. They're surrounded by units. Swag is making his way out. Just got a veterancy bonus that's going to help him. And the top side now looks in a very good position. They've got Tech 2 Navy already. Because Uber isn't making any Tech 2 Navy. He's got Tech 2 Air. But completely giving up Navy to Rock. Rage Squirrel makes an early Tech 2 factory. He's got a Tech 2 sub out already, a Barracuda. And I'm surprised that there's no factory up here. This would be extremely easy to drop. Just put a few already here. Destroy everything. It's always worthwhile to get a factory up here. I like to go with 2 because it gives me even more protection. You can see Uber does exactly that because factories also give you the capacity to reclaim the forest up here, which is pretty valuable. Although, when you've got this much forest to divide between 2 players, it's just kind of unreal how many trees are sucked down. Now I'm just talking about random crap. So we see top side gaining significant map control. They've gained the bottom ocean already. No challenge from Uber, and he's got some already moving his way from Rock, so Rock is going to try to make Uber pay, but he's in a position to make a lot of gunships if needed. He's making a Tech 2 NG now. So just a lot of eco going up for Uber, planning to make a lot of power, and Aurora's forced the Arty back, but Auroras aren't really going to help him against a cruiser, which is more than halfway done now. See NG's just being spammed at a phenomenal rate by 4 factories from Rock. And we see Tech 2 Flak from Raging Squirrel. And Craze now has a Navy moving in that direction. That could be trouble for Raging if Craze were to do something with that. But there is Tech 2 coming up. Both Rock players have claimed their islands. And we see a big air fight over Uber's base. And Rock realizes there's a lot of flak, so he's going to leave. Also Swift wins for Uber. So Rock would probably have lost that air fight with the Swift wins and all that flak in place. And we see... Now we see the Tech 1 Arty. It's going to do a little bit of damage. At least it's going to take out a few turrets, so at least denies some investment for Uber. Just to get the last one, it does. This is a ridiculous air force now from Rock. I mean, how many interceptors are we talking about here? Yeah, we're talking about 50, no, yeah, a lot of interceptors. My math skills are failing me right now. But it's hard to imagine Rock losing this air fight even against Swift Winds. But when he turns his back like that, you can imagine it. Oh, all Rock's... Most of Rock's interceptors were out of gas. That's why they failed. So Uber's Swift Winds with better micro also are able to win that engagement. So Craze is going to come in and make sure that there's no challenge. He's using the attack move command, which is a decent way to do it. And we see Raging Squirrel is making significant progress against Craze Chariot on the Navy side of things, and he's got a massive air force of his own, so if he had contributed to that air fight, maybe the top side would have had a better chance. Although I thought Rock had it with all those interceptors. Still spamming them at a good rate. You see Tech 2 Air Factory making interceptors, as well as Tech 1 who's making transports. Interesting choices from Rock. Uber's not going to be able to get into the water. Too many subs. Rock is asserting his dominance over Uber's ocean. He's got a cruiser coming in. Actually, he's already got one, so I take that back. And this is going to be really bad stuff for Uber. He needs to get TMD up everywhere, and as Aeon, it's going to be really bad. His ACU aptly changes to what's the meaning of life. there's no meaning to life when you've got a Seraphim cruiser right outside your base and you can't do anything about it. I'd like to see Raging move his Air Force over here and secure the area for the cruiser, because it can still be sniped by torpedo bombers. We see Tech 1 being upgraded to Tech 2. He's probably going to try to counter it with blazes and shields. That's exactly what he's doing. So Uber going to use the hover units to try and counter the cruiser. He's got some flak coming out as well. Crazed has his Air Force in support. See Artie coming in, and if the Artie kills my doorbell, seriously? Looks like there was no one there. Faggots. So, see Rock moving his stuff in, and Uber has a Tech 2 land factory in this area as well, so he's got Tech 2 everywhere. We see blazes coming in as well from Uber. I've been distracted by the doorbell, so I gotta figure out what's going on. So Rock has a huge stream of already coming in from the middle of the map, so that's going to be very beneficial for him. He's going to force Uber to continuously spam these blazes just to counter him. Uber's not going to be able to get out of his base in the Navy at all. You see Raging as well on his way to winning the Navy against Crazed as well. So I think that this... Oh, wait. Now there's people knocking at my door. Maybe there was someone and they came back. I don't understand. I'm just gonna be quiet and hope that whoever it is leaves, because I don't want to put up with any crap. It's kind of mean, but whatever. We're just gonna watch the game. For once, we're gonna watch the game without a commentary, and we're just gonna see what happens. Interesting. Oh yeah, I said really quiet. I think it might be okay now. So anyway, the cruisers from Rock are now devastating the middle position for the bottom side. The Tech 2 Max here, that's vulnerable. We see Uber actually managing to push out with the super blaze spam and just to get out of his base, and there's a destroyer under attack from Rock. Uber might actually kill this, although yeah, he will kill this. Nothing Rock can do to save that destroyer. It's just gonna get hunted down by blazes. So huge blaze spam. I mean, Uber, obviously he has 2 land factories making these, but that's just a ridiculous spam of Tech 2 units. He's got so many now. So how many blazes are we talking about? 31 blazes. We see Rock takes over the air battle, and Crazed is about to lose his base. This is the most classic image from 2008 or 2009 that you will ever see, is a Rock player getting demolished by a cyber navy from beach. This is about as classic as it gets. So Crazed doesn't really have a base to speak of right now that's going to function for too long. We see ASF out from Rock. Where is he making these? He's making them from there. So Rock has ASF. Not doing a very good job picking up his force, but he got such an early advantage from the mass in the middle, which is now all gone, that it's just allowed them to get so much more stuff. And Rock realizes that somehow he's let the Navy slip. He's probably wondering how that happened, but now he says he's making strat bombers. Strat bombers are probably a good idea, and he's got enough power to do it. He could probably snipe someone with those. And Raged is making his way back, but how did I miss that? I must be some kind of idiot. While Crazed is losing his base, he's in the process of destroying Raging's base. Raging has 5 cruisers that are putting fire on Crazed. This is going to be bad for Crazed. Crazed has to get out of there, because with the Cybern cruisers, you can tell them to shoot at ground and they get more damage against shields, so it's almost impossible to defend with shields against Cybern cruisers. And once the strat bombers come out, Craze is going to be in a world of trouble. Rock is still doing quite well in the Navy side of things, using bombers to counter the Tech 1 bombers to counter the Tech 2 units. That's good. We see Tech 3 anti-air going up for Crazed, but he's just going to keep getting forced farther and farther inland, and once you're this far in, if you have to keep going inland, you expose yourself a lot to being killed by pretty much anything. I mean, at this point, he's very vulnerable. We see more strats coming at for Rock, and all the Tech 1 bombers have been diverged to go after Craze. That's probably a really good idea, because Tech 3 anti-air is actually not that good against Tech 1 bombers just because of the overkill. So something like 50 Tech 1 bombers might actually be a good counter, a good cheap counter to this kind of ACU drop. We see 30 in the immediate area for Rock. Still making good progress against Uber, although Uber looks very fortified now with so many auroras and shields and blazes. There's no hope for Craze to get back into the water side of things. Rage has destroyed his base. So now Craze is making missile launchers. And if he's not building shields, then once again he's at risk of dying. Now Rage is making battleships to get the extra range. If he can get a few of these out, and he's making them at a good rate, reclaiming his old base to make those battleships, Craze won't be able to hold out for very long against Tech 3 battleships. Destroyers might also be a good idea to walk on land, and we can see so much firepower. Rock says that they got this, hopefully. Well, I mean, not hopefully, but for him, hopefully. I think you guys know what I'm saying. See, ASF production has restarted. Has the bottom side got ASF? It looks like they do. Uber has an ASF production base here. But Rock, I keep missing these massive occurrences. Rock is just marching really boldly down the middle of the map. Here's a force that probably could have stopped it. Not doing much though. So much TML for Crazed. That needs to be dealt with. We see the battleships have done their work breaking through the shields. See, Rock has a strat bomber that you could probably use if they could just take out the anti-air. Crazed is just continuously being forced farther and farther from the beach. This is the point at which I would like to see some Tech 2 destroyers come out, because 3 battleships are going to make sure that there's no way he's ever going to come back towards the beach. Craze says he's making Tech 4. Not sure where that is. And the force from Rock is just continuously moving through. And finally, it looks like Craze might actually lose his position here, and he might lose his life, because he's got no way to escape. He's under attack by gunships. He was forced off his position. Tech 3 gunships from Raged. That's going to be the end of from Crazed Chariot. So now Uber is all alone. Crazed base, whatever's left of it, is going to destroy. It's going to be destroyed. And now Uber has to find a way. I'm going to lay out the significance of his challenge here. He has to find a way to kill 2 players when he's lost 1 ocean. He's lost the middle, and he's almost lost another ocean, and he's got like 50 Tech 1 bombers in the area. And he's got forces directly demolishing his base. That's the situation he has to dig himself out of. And we'll see what he does about it. He's got a lot of swift winds and air superiority fighters, so maybe he can capture air. But these cruisers are going to make life very difficult for him. They're going to put a lot of fire. They're going to prevent him from building pretty much anything. And strat bombers just flying around for the top team. And Uber is able to defend again with his mobile army of blazes and shields and auroras. Also using torpedo bombers. So Uber is basically using every unit at his disposal to just stay alive pretty much. Just spamming destroyers very nicely. He's got a lot of reclaim here that he should be picking up. No NGs are really on that command though. And all these bombers from Rock need to do something. They've been flying around for 5 minutes. They need to drop their bombs somewhere. Now they're finally moving out. They're probably going to go after some of these NGs, but they're not going to make it far past that flak. Here's a bomb finally. That lands in the middle of a nice pack of NGs. Bombs just landing everywhere on Uber's production. That's going to make it very difficult for him. He's losing Navy. Rock has a lot of destroyers in the area. Where did Rock get all those destroyers? He must have been steadily building them up. more energies might fall here as more bombs could be dropped. Uber asking where's the nuke, which is probably what he expects at this point. See a megalith being built by Rage Squirrel. Now it's done. So Uber realizes they have a mega. Forgives them for not having a nuke. So they're pretty much gonna whittle Uber down until he's just in this little area, because that's probably the best idea in this case. And it looks like Uber isn't really carrying anymore. He stopped his air production, making gunships, so still hanging in there, but he's lost Navy completely. So no Navy on either side. He's lost air, he's lost the middle. So we can say this game is over, but it was a very nice half-hour game. 2v2 Setons with some very good players who don't really play Setons that much. And interestingly, the two players that you would expect to win, Uber and Craze, the ones with the most Setons experience, lose to Raging Squirrel, who pretty much never plays Setons ever, and Tag Rock, who also pretty much never plays Setons ever. So interesting where the world players beat the semi-Setons players, you could say. Although Crazed is pretty much in good form right now, so you'd expect him to do very well in Setons. Do not disturb, that's good. Sam's here for Uber with one of 9 kills, that's interesting. And Destroyers just making their way over from Raging with how many kills between them? 87 kills between them. Very nice Destroyers, and the Force from Rock is just demolishing Uber's base. So now it's just a matter of time until the GGs are called and we see Tech 3 gunships on the rampage for a Raging Squirrel. It's a lot of whalers. It takes a long time to build those, but once you get them, they're very nice. Hard to kill them. Now they're just going to make their way over here and start killing stuff. Uber does have an Ivory N, which promptly gets destroyed. And yes, the Sam might actually kill a whaler here if Raging doesn't micro. Not that it matters at all. Where's Uber's ACU at? What? Oh, he teleported. That's nice. What if he actually kills Rocket? That'd be really funny. And he's gonna capture Rock's PD, take it back from him. I have to watch this. This is interesting what Uber has just done. He gets a draw against Rock. Oh, 300, 200, 300. Rock survives with 200 HP. So, good ending to this game. And very nice game overall. So, Soul Ripper. Raging just going nuts with his experimentals. Squirrel nuts. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and we'll get the Rise of the Immortals Cup final out to you soon. And don't forget to sign up for the WWPCT. I got that right, yeah. For next week, we need people to do that. So, see you guys next time.